Hi guys, so today I'm going to be telling you guys the story about my knee surgery and everything about that. And because it's kind of a crazy story because of my teacher. Okay, so my injury to my knee that caused me to have my surgery was from PE class. As my PE teacher, he was also the football coach. And he was like, oh, I can make these students do the football exercises. They should be able to do them perfectly fine with no problems. He knew that I had knee problems previously already because I already hurt one of my knees in 8th grade, and this was in 10th grade. I already had a knee problem. I already hurt my knee once. And then I did kind of pull something in my knee that I ended up having knee surgery in before, so I kind of had knee problems on both knees. So, and then he has made us do these exercises, which I struggled to do because I couldn't do them perfectly because my knees. So I was like, I don't know what you want from me, dude. You know I can't do these. Oh, and hold on. Before I continue the story, warning, do not continue this video if you don't like seeing surgery pictures or hearing about a surgery story. Don't watch. I forgot to say that earlier. It's fine. Okay, so one day, this was, I think, late September, early October. It was before my birthday. I remember that. And my birthday is in, like, the beginning of October. So, he had us do these football exercises, and he was having us do lunges, and it wasn't the normal kind of lunges. It was like the really low down kind of lunges where you have to get really low to the ground. So I think kind of like a runner's lunge, kind of like that, but not exactly like that because he wanted us to basically like be in the splits. But him be like have our torso and everything like completely down like our legs. And we were faced towards the left side, and then he yelled at us to turn, and then as I was trying to turn, he yelled at me to get lower, and then I tried to while I was still turning. That's when my knee popped out of place. And I went down, and my knees popped out before. I was fine. But that time, because I tore the ligament, when it popped out, it tore. So I started bawling my eyes out from the pain. My eyes are getting watery now just remembering that pain. Oh my gosh. I was freaking out, crying. And the friend guy that sat behind me was like, are you okay? And I couldn't respond because I was in so much pain. And then finally my teacher noticed I was on the ground crying. And then he told the rest of the class to go for a walk around the field. And then he called security to come take me to the nurse's office. My ex-friend, she had to go get my stuff from my locker. Because obviously I couldn't go get my stuff. I was still in my PE clothes. My PE teacher had to help me into the cart that the security uses. And then I got taken home by my grandma. We just thought maybe I just popped it or something and it'd be fine by icing it. So we just iced it. And then my grandma was like, okay, we should see the doctor still just to make sure it's okay. So the next day, instead of going to school because I was in so much pain, we made an appointment for the doctors. I went to see my doctor. I went to go see my doctor. And then he was like, yeah, she didn't just pop her knee out. She tore a ligament in her knee. And then he said that he's going to send us to a knee specialist, which he did, and to help and figure out everything that was going on. And then I went back to school. Well, they had me in, what was it called? It was like a big like knee brace thing, but it wasn't like a metal one. It's like a foam. It's just foam and like little metal bar like things to keep my knee straight. Right, so it wouldn't be as painful having my knee bent, I guess, if I remember correctly. So I was already on crutches to help keep weight off of my leg. And my teacher, my PE teacher, he didn't really feel bad. I'm gonna be honest. I know he didn't feel bad because you're gonna figure out why later on in the story. So, I was like, I'm gonna be on crutches. Here's my doctor's note saying I'm gonna be on crutches for a while, and I have to get surgery. He didn't care. He was just like, whatever. And at my school, you can't use the elevators at the school unless you have a key. Did they let me have a key even though they knew I was going to be on crutches for a really long time? No. So I had to always either ask a teacher to let me up in the elevator, or I had to try and get security to stop and let me go in the elevator. And sometimes security would just drive right past me when I was trying to get to my class that was upstairs. They'd just be like, bye. They'd look at me and just keep going. And before, when I was upstairs in my English class, this was my first class of the day. The one teacher that had the key to let me down in the elevator wasn't there. Security wasn't coming to let me down. So I was just there. My next class already was starting. So I was like, okay then. And so I couldn't get down the stairs. I was just like, I don't care. I need to get to my next class. So I walked down the stairs with my crutches. And I fell, hurting my knee more because the school is literally stupid and doesn't give a student that they know has classes up the stairs a freaking key or something to be able to get to their classes. So I was already upset, and then I hurt myself more because we found out that when we went to go get my MRIs done, there was also a broken bone along with the torn ligament when it was just a torn ligament before. So from falling down the stairs, I apparently broke the bone. And then again, I had to walk down the stairs in the math building, which was worse because there's a lot of people there, and they have an office there, and they had a guy that was supposed to always come out of the office, open the elevator for me every time. And my teacher, she had a key too, so she would open it for me. But the one day she wasn't there, apparently the guy that was supposed to always open it for me wasn't there either. Or he just decided, I don't feel like opening up the elevator and letting this girl go down, so I had to walk down the stairs again. There was another girl that was supposed to be using the elevator. She told me, oh, I'll go down and tell them to open the elevator for you. Guess what she didn't do? She didn't tell them. She just left. Probably because it was lunchtime, so she was just like, she'll be fine up there. And so I got left up there, and I was just like, I don't care anymore, and I just walked down the stairs again. Okay, so I just want to put this part in here because I forgot to say it throughout the video. Oh, I was one of the students that always made sure that no other student was allowed in the elevator if they didn't need to use it. I wouldn't let any person get in that didn't need it. If they weren't on crutches or needed to use the elevator, I won't let them in. I'd tell them no. I wouldn't shut the door in their face. And yeah, I know I shouldn't have even tried walking down the stairs. I should have told another teacher, which I did, by the way. I did do that multiple times. Did security ever come? No. Did the teachers ever help? No. Okay, so I just want to put that note in there so you guys know I did try to ask for help. Oh, so I wouldn't have to walk down the stairs. I'm not stupid. I tried. No one wanted to help. Okay, back to the video. And by the way, when I went to go get my MRI, they were threatening to give me detention. And because of how many times I had to be late to school because of all my doctor's appointments, then they're like, oh, if she's not here on time, she's going to get detention. And my mom, that just set her over the edge. And because my accident and my knee surgery and everything happened because of the school. And everything that... that just ticked her off. I didn't get detention though. I literally had a talk with the principal when I got there because my mom got so mad and she told them that she will literally show them the MRI pictures if she has to. She gave them the card from the MRI office and told them, you can call and check and see if we were actually there. Because we were there. And then the principal was like, oh, she's not going to get detention. And then he started walking next to me and was like, oh, next time you need to bring a note. And I was just like, you were threatening to give me detention when I said I had an MRI appointment. Like, why? Why? Okay. And my surgery... Okay, so my surgery was November 20th of 2013. You know, everything went fine. I was good. I was on a lot of morphine. It was great. Because I didn't feel anything until it eventually wore off. Then I started feeling pain, and then I was miserable. But I was in Chalk Hospital. They were great. They were lovely. It was one of the best times because they just gave me games to play. The nurses were really nice. I made some bracelets for the nurses because they gave me a bracelet kit thing. So I was like, okay, I'll make some bracelets for the nurses before I leave. Because I kind of was probably a very terrible patient because I kept pressing the nurse button because I kept feeling pain. Because they gave me medicine to help stop the pain, but then I'd have to get up because I kind of had to use the bathroom because for some reason every time after they gave me the pain medication it made me feel like I had to go to the bathroom, and then the pain would just immediately come back after, and they'd be like, we can't give you any more. We can't. And so I was just in a lot of pain. They told me I probably shouldn't eat after the surgery. I was really hungry, so I was just like, I am starving. I think I'm fine. I want some food. So I got some mac and cheese, and then I got a mud pie. I couldn't eat the mud pie. I just ate the mac and cheese and saved the mud pie to take home with me the next day. They were right. I shouldn't have eaten that mac and cheese. I feel really bad because I got sick during the middle of the night. And I had to call one of the nurses and tell them and have them come clean me up. And I felt so bad. My mom, she was also there. She stayed the night with me because she knew I wouldn't do well alone in the hospital with all these nurses and stuff. She was in the room. She was asleep in a chair that they brought in for her. Because they already knew she was going to stay. And so they just had the chair for her, and she was knocked out. I was up all night, and I went home the next day. I thought they were just going to have me walk out on crutches or something. No, they had to try and figure out a way to get me in the wheelchair. And it hurt since my cast was straight. It wasn't a bent cast or anything. It was just a straight, long cast that was above my knee all the way to my ankle. So they had to get some nurses. Okay, so they had to get, I think, 2 nurses to help get me in the wheelchair and get me in the clothes we brought for me to wear. as I was going home because I kind of couldn't get my sweatpants on because kind of had a cast on and I was kind of in pain already. So my mom helped me get my sweatpants and everything on. One of the nurses helped me get in the wheelchair and wheel me out. I think we were on like the 4th floor of the Chalk Hospital, so we had to go in the elevator and wait for my grandma, and then my grandma came. Luckily my grandma had a van at this time, but it was a little high off the ground, so it kind of had to lift me into the van, and it wasn't a van where it's just a row of seats. It was 2 separate seats in the back, so it kind of had to get me in the furthest seat behind my grandma and then have my leg with the cast resting on the other seat, which was kind of hard, especially when you're trying to sit this way and then you have one leg going that way. It's kind of awkward. I had to be like that until January. This was like mid-November. Luckily my knee surgery was during Thanksgiving break, because if it wasn't, the school probably would have been like, oh, when is she coming back? And I would have just been so ticked off. And during this time, they did give me pain medication. I think I got just one of those pain pills that they gave to my mom and grandma to give me, because the rest of them I didn't get. I was in pain a lot throughout that because the friggin' cast was so heavy. I had a lot of pain from having surgery. But my mom and my grandma, they were both worried I was going to become addicted to them. And so I was just like, I'm in pain. And they were just like, meh. Yeah, you'll be fine. And my sister, before I came home, she cleaned my room. So nice of her. She made me a big chocolate cake in the shape of a heart. Me being in pain and grumpy, I was not happy about anything, so I was kind of mean. And when I first came home, she knows that I was thankful. I was just in pain. And during the 2 months of, let's see, when did I get my cast off? I got my cast off January 2nd. Of 2014. So it was like it was like under 2. Yeah, it was under like 2 months. That I was on crutches because of my knee surgery. So, but still, it was kind of like most of the year I was on crutches. And I couldn't really do much throughout the school year. We were in PE. So, y'all know what my PE teacher chose to do? He came up to me when I still had my cast on and was like, go see your counselor and see if they can put you in a different PE class. He was trying to kick me out of his class because I got injured doing his exercises that he told us to do. That ticked me off even more. Or so I was like, okay, because I'm not going to disobey what the teacher says, because me being the good student that I was just like, okay, I'll just listen and do what you say. So I walked all the way to the counselor's office. No one was there. So then I had to walk all the way back, because you know how security was. They didn't help. But after I did have my surgery and I had the cast on, they had to open in the elevator for me every single time, because I had a cast on. And that made it worse. So they kind of couldn't let me walk down the stairs then, because I really couldn't move my leg. So that's good, at least, that they helped me when I had a cast on. So I came back and I was like, there was no counselor there. And then he was just like, ugh. He legit sighed. Because he was so upset that he couldn't get rid of me. And then got my cast off and everything. Okay. And then I got my cast off. I still couldn't participate in the class. I think I was out for another month before they would let me even do any of the exercises or anything in the class. That's because I was in physical therapy to help get my knee back to how my other knee was. So I had to be in physical therapy doing a bunch of exercises is to get the mobility back in my knee and get the muscles to start moving the way they should be and working together. And even then, during that period where I was trying to get through my physical therapy and everything, he still wasn't happy I was in his class because I couldn't do anything. All I could do is walk. Okay, and he wanted to make me do football, baseball, running, do his stupid exercises. But I couldn't, so I had to just be walking the entire time around the field. Well, then I know it annoyed him because he wanted to make me work out just like all the other students, but I couldn't. And then I know it was really upsetting for him. It was so upsetting for him, the PE teacher who caused me to have my surgery. And I was just like, whatever, dude. I don't like you. You don't like me. I don't care. Then I finally got through my physical therapy and was able to get back to class as normally and everything. Oh, and also during the time when I had my cast and everything, I had to leave my classes early so I could try and get to my classes and not get trampled by everyone, because no one cares if you're on crutches at my school. No one cared. They're like, you have crutches, I don't care, I will push you. I don't care. So I was just like, hey, I need to leave like 5 minutes early or something so I can be able to get out of the way so I don't get trampled. All my teachers were fine with it. But my history teacher, he was kind of like, I don't really want to let you leave early, which I was like, bro, come on. I kind of have to. I have to go all the way from your class as to the other side of the school, and then I have to get up the elevator. So he kind of couldn't argue with me. He was annoyed by it though. But I still loved that history teacher. He was a really good history teacher. But what really upset me was so many of my classmates apparently thought I was faking my knee surgery when I showed my cast to them before, and they thought that I was faking it. They thought I was faking having to use the crutches just to get out of class early. That made me upset. And then when I finally was able to get back to class, I'm going to get back to that now. My PE teacher, he was like, great, you can finally start doing things. He didn't make me start doing all of his crazy exercise because he knew better that time. He learned. He was like, yeah, I'm going to have you not do those exercises. I think he had me do the basic version of them. And he was going a lot easier on me then. And he wasn't making me run and do all these crazy jumping through hoops stuff that he was basically giving to the other students, since he didn't want to deal with me possibly getting injured again. And I told my mom that I didn't want to bother suing the school because I was like, if I sue the school, it might mess up this entire teacher's career. Or if we sue the school, could also make it so the school kicks me out. I was just paranoid, so I was just like, I don't want to bother. Let's just leave it alone. My mom shouldn't have listened to me, in my opinion. She should have just done what she felt was the right thing to do, which was probably to sue them, because it was technically the school's fault for letting that teacher tell the students to do these exercises, especially to students that he knew had previous problems with certain things, and then he still would yell at you to do these exercises. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. Well, and I think it's true. Maybe we could have sued. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. And throughout this video, I probably popped up the pictures of my cast, my knee when the cast came off, and I'm going to be popping up a picture of my knee 7 years later of the scar, so you guys get to see that. Because it's going to be 7 years this year in November. If you guys like this story, I guess give it a like. Feel free to tell me in the comments if you think we could have sued. Do you think we couldn't have sued? Do you think that my PE teacher is stupid? Or do you think I was in the wrong? I don't know. And feel free to subscribe. And maybe I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.